There's just no queen like a vegan queen.
Drag, much like veganism, is something that troubles the status quo.
Yes, it does.
You know, which is why it makes a lot of people, as does veganism, very emotive.
This character, Gemini, is a beautiful creature. The only thing I will teach your kids is how to be themselves.
Good.
That's it.
Got himself out of schooner.
The reaction from the audience. I cried.
Oh, bless you.
Luckily my makeup didn't run.
My next guests are the wonderful and fabulous vegan queens. They have made a huge name for themselves on the drag scene, and they have a very important vegan message to spread. Hello, ladies. Welcome to Vegan Camp Out. And you've both been on stage already, is that correct?
We were at 3 o'clock this afternoon. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was. Brilliant. And how have you found it? How was the audience? Are they what you're used to, a bit more hippie, or...?
Well,
we'll play to all sorts, won't we?
Yeah, but this is the first ever, 100% vegan gig we've done. So we normally do a lot of pride shows and, we do events and pubs and clubs.
And we talk about veganism in our act, or we were
always. I mean, that's why we're called the Vegan Queens. But today,
the vegan
beer was very, very special. I mean, when we did the first song, I had to take a moment to see the reaction from the audience. I cried.
Oh, bless you.
Luckily, my makeup didn't run.
Not yet.
It's a home crowd, isn't it? It's like family.
Yeah, it's kind of like a captive audience,
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, how did you both go vegan and how did that come about?
Well, I'm going to let her explain because I just copied her, basically. So you knew the story.
You were inspired.
I was inspired by,
So I was already vegetarian.
Yeah.
Me and my husband, Jason.
Yeah.
Not me.
So we're the Vegan Queens. Me and my husband Jason are those vegan guys.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we were already vegetarian, and then we watched a documentary on Netflix called Vegucated. And I watched it once, and it got to me, and I was like, right, okay, maybe I need to stop eating eggs and dairy. But I carried on.
Yeah.
I was still stubborn, I still carried on, and then I'm also a support worker, so I support people with, mental health issues, additional needs, autism. One of the guys that I supported, I was talking to him about this documentary, and he said, will you watch it again with me? And I said, yeah, of course I will. It broke me. It broke me. I went home that night, said to Jason, we're going vegan, I'm the cook.
Yeah.
I decide.
Yeah.
We're going vegan. I phoned my friend Debbie up, gave her all my corn, all my vegetarian stuff, and literally was vegan from that moment. And that was April 2014.
Wow, so nearly 10 years now.
Yeah. So same time, you rang me, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you said, I'm going vegan. I said, I'll do that as well.
You were already vegetarian.
I was already vegetarian as well. And, to pick up on what she says, because it does impact all areas of your life, doesn't it? So in my daily life, I'm a uni lecturer, and what we do is critical thought, basically. And you can't unpick veganism as an argument critically.
Yeah.
So have to be vegan.
Yeah, it's like cognitive dissonance, isn't it, with people? And it's just,
exactly. Them are the words.
They are.
Words, yeah.
I left my dog as eating a burger and slopping it on the dog.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, how did the kind of drag act come about as well? I mean, has that something you've always enjoyed, or is that something...
Well, I'm 54 now.
Yeah.
I've been a drag act for 41 years.
Wow.
Since I was 13 years old.
You don't look old enough.
I know, Ryan. God's fan.
Not a day over 21.
I used to host this TV show in Manchester. It was a local channel. It's called Fast Manchester.
Yeah.
I used to host a chat show called Now We're Talking. And we're coming up to Manchester Pride, which, as you know, is huge.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
Really. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do it in drag? Like host the episode beforehand in drag. So I just said to Stuart, do you fancy, if I do you up, do you fancy doing drag? And she was like, go on then, why not? And we got 2 of our friends, Cleo and Lucy Lush, to come and join us. So it's 4 drag queens hosting this show. We got to the end of it, and I said, should we carry this on, do you think? And she was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And I said, right, the Vegan Queens.
Yeah.
That's our name.
Brilliant.
And so here we are 7 years in, loving it. We love it. We love it. We love it. It's such an old form of entertainment. Drag has been around for literally thousands of years. And we worked really well together, didn't we?
We do. I mean, we've been friends for so long as well. I would count Paul, as my best friend, you know. And we were both actors, actually, when that's how we met. In fact, Paul came to see me in a show, and we met in the bar afterwards. And
met Tom in Rent.
Oh, okay.
She was brilliant.
She thought I was dead, Butch. Come on.
I've got to tell you this because it's quite cheesy. I walked up to him in the bar, in the theatre, and I said, you don't know me, but you were amazing and we're going to be friends.
Oh.
And we were.
And was it just friends? Is that the clean version or is that the real version?
No, really, yeah.
Friends, yeah.
We've always been really, really good friends. And then I introduced you to my husband, Jade.
Yes, I went to your wedding. Yeah, the very next weekend. Yeah, and but you know, drag, much like veganism, is something that troubles the status quo.
Yes, it does.
You know, which is why it makes a lot of people, as does veganism, very emotive.
Yeah,
and very threatened.
Yeah, people
in
get
some
really
respects.
confronted by the idea of dressing up.
Which is funny because when Robin Williams played Mrs. Doubtfire, nobody was stood outside the studio calling him a groomer.
No.
And that's what drag queens have got, but only lately. Only the last 3 or 4 years, drag is now dangerous again.
It is.
It wasn't for a long time.
No.
And now it's dangerous again. But you know what? It's made me all the more determined. This character, Gemini, is a beautiful creature, right? The only thing I will teach your kids is how to be themselves.
Good.
That's it. Don't you dare accuse me of anything.
No. I agree.
Yeah.
My friend runs a library and she had a drag artist reading to the kids and the EDL hijacked it outside
They'll do it
protests,
all
of
day,
course.
you know what I mean?
And then good old Bristol had a protest group against them and a counter-protest group so that just to say no, enough of this. And good for Bristol, but also it's why are they hijacking these things?
Change is hard, isn't it? Again, to bring it back to the and people get very defensive.
Yeah.
People get scared.
Yeah.
People get scared. I think can we talk politics
Yes,
for a
of
minute?
course.
Right. Ever since Trump
Yeah.
in America,
Dirty Trump.
this whole filthy right-wing ideology where if you're not white, Christian, heterosexual, married, then you're not the norm. And it's like we live in such a diverse and beautiful world. We are a rainbow of people. Let's embrace that, you know.
Agreed. And I agree with you both. It feels like we made such good progress and things were starting to change. And I mean, especially in the gay scene as well, a lot more people became open to it. And that's still kind of, still persists, I think. But then the narrative's changing in the press. And it is changing against drag artists. It's changing against trans people especially.
It's these recycled arguments from the 80s. We've seen it all before, you know.
The awful assumption as well is that when you're drag, you're trans.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't take away from trans people by labelling us as trans. We're not.
Yeah.
But they're our brothers and sisters and we love them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some
We
queens
just
are
don't
trans.
Yeah.
them.
We're not actually trans, but, you know, and everyone deserves to have that identity
So,
respected.
your pronouns are they.
I would say I was non-binary, so I'm on the spectrum.
I'm he, him, she, her, they're them. I don't
Whatever you're
care.
feeling at
Gender-
the time. Yeah.
Gender's over.
Yeah. No, that's
Gender is over.
agreed. I mean, and with like veganism, so you must have seen changes in the vegan movement and vegetarian movement before that. But it was 41 years you said that you'd been doing
Drag. Yeah.
Sorry, how long were you? How long have you been like vegetarian and then vegan?
I've been vegan almost 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
I was vegetarian for 20 years
20
before that,
years.
so a long time of being aware, 10 years of being fully aware. Because the dairy industry is one of the most cruel industries. I said it on the stage today, and I'll say it again via microphone. Cows are the most abused mothers on the planet. They are forcefully impregnated, their babies are taken away, and we steal the birth milk. And when you really think about that, it's horrific what we do to them. But for 20 years, I was blind to that.
Yeah.
I don't eat meat. I'm doing the best thing for the planet. I wasn't. For 10 years, I've been doing the best thing for the planet.
Yeah.
And I will be vegan until the day I die.
Yeah.
Nothing will change that,
No.
ever.
Brilliant. One of the things I found as well is like people over a certain age, and there's kind of a gap for me that I've found personally, but I find like older people, as in like 60 plus, are really receptive when they start to hear the arguments. And I was always shocked by that, but so many people.
Some are,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like my husband Jason,
Yeah.
his parents eat about 95% plant-based
Yeah.
now. My mother, not
Nothing.
a chance.
No.
Hello, if you're watching.
A chance. Love you, Joan. Go vegan. Enough
Come on,
to know.
Joan.
Yeah, but she's 82.
Yeah.
So she's really stuck in her ways now. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of younger people cling on to. They cling on to the preset, the preset ideas of the older generation. I'm not going vegan, you know, and it's milk builds strong bones.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Kale does,
Yes.
as it happens.
Yes.
Or spinach.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Very true. That's why when none of us are brittle, then we're all right, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, I mean, you've been touring up and down the country, I guess, for a long time, especially with the drag side of things. And what's the kind of reception like? Are there places that you prefer playing to other places, or?
This
Yeah.
was the best gig
Oh, really?
I would agree.
ever done.
Vegan Sampa.
I think it's because we knew everybody was vegan.
Yeah.
And so we did, because when we do a normal show, we always start by saying we're the vegan queens and we're the vegan queens because we're queens
Yeah.
and we're vegan.
A little bit of dragtivism.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
very important, dragtivism. And we tell people that they should think about what they're consuming, what they're buying, what they're purchasing, how they're being led astray by the meat industry and the dairy industry. Because we've all seen the adverts on the TV with the happy cow in the field chomping grass. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's a fallacy that we've all been fed. And when we wake up to it, that's when we go vegan. So here today was beautiful, but usually we do a lot more activism in our act, don't we?
Yeah. I
We
mean,
didn't need to. Here.
Yeah, you don't, do you?
but we love a pride. We love
Yeah.
a small function.
Absolutely.
We do all sorts. Anywhere where people are there to listen, be entertained, have a laugh, and just have fun. Our kind of drag is about celebrating people. We're not
Celebrating
into
everybody.
queens. We read ourselves. We don't read anybody else.
Yes.
And
Self-deprecating.
absolutely. And it's about being with people and giving them permission to be true to every single part of themselves. So anywhere where people are down for that is a great.
Mid-artist study. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's good.
Lovely. Well, what have you got coming up for the next sort of 12 months? Are you going to be really busy gigging, or?
Yeah, we've got a lot of gigs lined up. It's little bits of pride festivals. We do private parties, so we've got quite a few private parties. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. We kind of do everything, and our message is always, yes, we're drag queens, but we're the vegan queens, and we want you to be vegan, please.
Amazing. And what's the support been like, from the drag community?
Do you know what? Brilliant.
Really
Yeah.
good, actually. Yeah. You're never sure, right? Every act,
No.
there's rivalries on the scene, and there's, everybody's trying to make their buck. But, I don't think I've come across anyone who hasn't been lovely and
Fully
really behind what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I mean, Bimini obviously is the big
Bimini, of
one people
course,
know
yeah.
a lot about, so that's helped. But
Yes, absolutely.
no, well, lovely. Well, thank you so much for chatting to me today.
It's a
Thank you
pleasure.
for having
Yeah,
us.
asking,
you're very
yeah.
welcome. Lovely to meet you both.